Afternoon, everyone. My name is Guy Lewis, and welcome to the March 2024 episode of the Business Lincolnshire live show. This is the third live show this year, but the show started nearly 3 years ago in April 2021, to engage with businesses across Greater Lincolnshire and Rutland about topics that are affecting them, answer the questions, and share the support that is available to you as a business owner. So remember, if you want to engage with us and send us messages live, the best way to do it is through the event chat on the LinkedIn event. So if you go into that event and just drop us a line, hopefully I'll read. It's a bit of a delay, but hopefully I'll be able to get it and get back to you and get that question answered. So this month's show is all about the visitor economy in Greater Lincolnshire and Rutland, and the latest tech being delivered around virtual immersive environments, and also the progress of this project that's going on in Cleethorpes, and also the latest in the business support programs, Your Business Boost, which is aimed at supporting business in the retail, leisure, and hospitality sector across Greater Lincolnshire and the Rutland area. I'm pleased to say we've got 3 guests. Actually, we've got 4 because we've just drafted a 4th one in, who will be sharing their insights on the sector and also provide more details of the programs. I'd first like to introduce Hayley Toyne. Hayley is the Visitor Economy Growth Manager for Visit Lincolnshire, and the Growth Club Advisor for Business Lincolnshire. And I'm trying to find where Hayley is, so I'm just going to add her hopefully to the stage. Oh, they are, Hayley. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Hi, Guy.
So tell me about some of the stuff that you're getting involved with in the sort of visitor economy sector at the moment.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. It's lovely to be back. Always enjoy these sessions. Thank you. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what my team does within the visitor economy team within LCC. And then also, so I wear 2 hats. So I'm the growth manager for the visitor economy team. And then I'm also the retail, leisure and hospitality specialist advisor for the Growth Hub as well, which covers around 10 days a week, I think it feels like at the moment. I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview as to what those things entail, really. So going back to the first role that I mentioned, the growth manager role. So within the visitor economy team, we tend to, I think the best way to think about the sort of the role and the outputs of our team, we deal with 4 main sort of outputs, and that's to do with investment and skills, number 1 and number 2 within the visitor economy within Greater Lincolnshire, and then also marketing and product development as well as 3 and 4. So if you think about investment and skills, that sort of is more of the business facing, I guess, content and outputs that we deliver. And we're, for example, we're around skills. We're currently supporting the LEP along with the rest of the visitor economy board with a hospitality recruitment campaign. We also deliver the business.Visit Lincolnshire website as well, which is a knowledge hub basically with lots of information for the visitor economy sector.
Yeah, that's got lots of sort of videos. Lots of videos on specific topics. It's got there's a whole load of things.
Yeah, there's absolutely. It's a huge resource. So I'll talk about that sort of business facing stuff in a sec. So I thought what I would do first of all is just cover more of the visitor facing activity that we undertake within the team. And there's a lot of sort of behind the scenes and product development and all the rest of it, but pretty much everything that we do that's visitor facing activity will find its way onto visitlincolnshire.com. So that's our main sort of channel. Thank you. That's the main channel for our team. So that's the Greater Lincolnshire wide destination visitor site. And it has places to stay, activities, attractions, things to do, places to eat and drink, events, all sorts of things on there. Everything that you would need if you were planning a trip or a holiday into the county, but also there's lots on there for residents as well. It's a really good sort of overview of what's going on in the county. So that's our main, as I say, all of the bits and pieces that we undertake within the team, pretty much that it will find its way onto visitlincolnshire.com. And that site was it was relaunched just sort of coming out of COVID, really, 2021, with some of the tourism commission money that the county council was able to secure. And so it's been sort of, it started from scratch from 2021, and we've been building on it ever since. In terms of the sort of the success, I suppose, and the reach of that site, it's very good and it's performing really well. So in terms of the reach of the site, last year, for example, we hit 1.3 million page views, which we were really pleased with. In terms of the number of users, that's 750,000 users to that site. So in terms of the sort of the reach and the target audience we're securing with that site, it performs really well. The SEO as well is really good on it. So if you were to type into Google, I want a holiday in Lincolnshire or visiting Lincolnshire, or all of those search terms, pretty much, if we're not number one, we're certainly in the top 3. So it's a really important platform for the visitor economy within the county.
And I guess what's the geography? Is it the whole of the county? I'm asking the question. I know the answer.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's Greater Lincolnshire. So northeast Lincolnshire, Lincolnshire as a whole. We also cover, there's some Rutland businesses on there. So absolutely, from the Humber to the Wash, all of the main sort of coastal seaside towns that you would think of, Lincoln City, Stamford. Stamford is a really, really popular area of the website, as is Lincoln and Skegness. So again, if you were to type in things to do in Stamford, things to do in Lincoln, Skegness, we're going to be sort of at the top of your window, I suppose, when you're looking at that. So it covers the whole of the county. The really important thing about visitlincolnshire.com is that it's completely fully funded by the county council. So there's no cost to register your business on that within So I would say if you've got a retail, leisure, hospitality, visitor-facing business within Greater Lincolnshire, absolutely, please do register to be on that site. As I say, it's all completely fully funded. You get a full page on there under your specific category. So that's that's the starting point, if you like. That's a given. And then if you've got additional content, so for example, events is a really popular section on the website as well and drives a lot of traffic to it. So if you've got upcoming events, or you've got specific product packages that you want to talk about. So we've got a new area on the website, which is all about experiences, bookable experiences. So things like, oh gosh, what are the ones that we've got on there at the moment? There's being a blacksmith for the day, or being a milling your own flour in a flour mill, or there's like meeting tigers and being a zookeeper for the day, or those types. That's it feels like that's one extreme to the other. That's quite I don't think many people are going to have meeting tigers as their experiences, but there are some businesses out there. But that whole experiential tourism side of things is a really big part of tourism as a whole at the moment. So we've got a brand new experience section on there. So if you've got experiences, then not only do you get your main sort of page product listing, you would also get a listing on the experience pages as well, and they're all sort of linked as well. So if the visitor's looking for going onto the website looking for experiences, they'll see you listed on there. So it works really well in terms of the conversion rate as well. So people that go on to Visit Lincolnshire and then click on to business listings, which is what we want them to do, so that they can book directly with business. it averages at the moment around 19%. You know, one in five pretty much visitors to that site will go on to a business page, which is amazing. We're really pleased with that, and that's something that we work really hard at, because I suppose that's the purpose of the site. You know, it's to drive business to our visitor economy businesses. So an average sort of conversion rate on a site is around about 3 to 5%, we've been told. So that 90% is really strong. I think what it tells us is that people are finding what they want on the website. So the content is relevant to them, and then they're going on to look at more specific information about the individual businesses. So so my message would be about that site. Please do take a look, get a business listing on there, and then get in touch with my team and tell us about it as well. So the more that we know about you, the more that you shout about yourself, make yourself known to us, tag us on social media, Visit Lincolnshire, all of those things, the more that we can help promote your business as well. So that's what I would say about Visit Lincolnshire. I suppose the bits I haven't covered are all of the new bits, because there's lots going on at the moment. So we've got a real focus on nature tourism at the moment. Which just
before you go into that, Harry, what's the sort of numbers? I mean, how many businesses have got listings on there?
Oh gosh, now you're asking me. It's around about 1,000, I want to say. There's lots on there.
Yeah, and as it covers, when you're saying tourism, I mean, would you expect sort of retail outlets that independents, would you expect them to be on there as well as the more traditional tourism sectors?
Yeah, there are some retail businesses on there, because it's quite a new site. We tended to sort of focus on what you would call the sort of traditional tourism businesses, I suppose. So the attractions and the places to stay and that sort of thing. But we're constantly adding to it. So what I would say is, if you're not sure if you're relevant or not, send it in anyway. And pretty much we will try and find a spot for you. So for example, we didn't have pubs and bars on there, because it was a sector that wasn't one of our not one of our priority ones, but it was just we needed to get hotels on and places to stay and attractions and things like that. It was sort of the next stage of getting businesses listed, and we've just put lots of bars and pubs on there. So we're working through categories like that, really. So I would just say, absolutely, if you're not sure, send it through and we can have a conversation about it. But there are some retailers on there.
You send that through, the contact is through the website. It's through the visitlincolnshire.com website.
Yeah, it is. So if you go down to the bottom of the Visit Lincolnshire homepage, you'll find a listing there, a link there to list your business. But then also the other part of our work that I wanted to tell you about was business.visitlincolnshire, that website, which is the sister site to Visit Lincolnshire. It's like the business support element of Visit Lincolnshire. And if you go onto business.visitlincolnshire, on the homepage, there's a really big section on there which talks about getting your business listed on Visit Lincolnshire. So that one's really easy to find, right in the middle of the homepage on business.visitlincolnshire. And then in terms of that resource, actually, and business.visitlincolnshire, so that came about again out of the Tourism Commission post-COVID and COVID recovery. And that's very much looking at the investment and the skills side of the visitor economy in the county. And that is, it's a huge resource, an online resource of business support elements which is all, again, fully funded, not gate kept in terms of accessibility. You can just, you can go on there and find what you like. So there's lots of toolkits on there. So, for example, I think previously we've spoken about the Green Tourism Toolkit, for example, and helping your business be a little bit more sustainable and greener. So there's a toolkit to help Lincolnshire businesses do that, called the Green Tourism Toolkit. So that would be found on business.visitlincolnshire. There's a new toolkit for the England Coast Path, which is coming at the beginning of 2025 for Lincolnshire. So there's a really comprehensive toolkit on making the most of opportunities that brings for your business. So you'll find that on there. You'll find the experience toolkit on there, for example. So there's toolkits, there's worksheets, there's downloads, there's 70 something filmed masterclasses on there. So from anything from social media to budgeting to public speaking, for example, they're all really easy to watch, 5-10 minutes worth of masterclass videos. So you'll find all of those on business.visitlincolnshire as well.
Very much bite size, weren't they? So the idea for in your coffee break or tea break, just catch a bit of a short, sharp.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and broken into really great chapters as well, so that you can do a chapter at a time, which I find really useful. So yeah, there's lots of those on there. Yeah, all sorts of things really. Also, which is really important in terms of tourism data as well. So how the market's performing, split by district as well. So you can see your individual district and how, what the tourism spend is, how many people are visiting, what that's like year on year, for example. So that's called STEAM data. And you'll find all of that downloads on business.visitlincolnshire. So there's a lot on there. What I would say about that site is it's a big site with lots of content on there. So my tip would be to think about one thing specifically that you wanted to look at for the first time on there, and go in and find that. Because you'll find yourself being lured by lots of links. Once you go onto that section, you'll go on to something else, and you'll go on to something else, and you think, oh, I didn't know that, and I quite fancy downloading that. So just go on, I would say, with sort of specific sort of little tasks, if you like, and then build from there. But yeah, it's a really great resource. And again, connect with the team, really. Let us know what you've got in terms of business to business events or support, and and that's always, we're always looking for new content for that site and ways to get that content out to people as well. So I think that's it for that sort of growth manager side of things. The other thing I just wanted to mention, am I right for time?
Just let me say at this point, so in what I popped in the chat, on the LinkedIn chat, I've got the Visit Lincolnshire site, and I've got the business.visitlincolnshire site. So if anyone wants to jump on them, and don't disappear down that sort of rabbit warren. And the two bits of advice you said, Hayley, there is one, as a tourism business, get on a listing, get on the Visit Lincolnshire site, get your listing. And two, if you're going to use the business.visitlincolnshire, be focused, because there's a lot of stuff. Okay, and moving on to your next one, your next hat, so to speak.
Thank you. And then just, in terms of the next thing I wanted to chat to you about was my role as the Retail, Leisure and Hospitality Advisor for Business Lincolnshire, which I'm guessing if you're on this call, you know about Business Lincolnshire already. But in terms of my support that we can offer with that role, so eligible areas are able to access one-to-one support as well through Business Lincolnshire. And if you were a retail, leisure or hospitality business and you wanted specific support on visitor economy, then that would be where I could step in and offer a number of one-to-one hours with your business as well. So it's always worth getting in touch with me to understand what that might look like. And if I can't help, then I can certainly signpost you to lots of the other specialist advisors within Business Lincolnshire as well. So just to say, really, please do reach out. And let's have a conversation about any specific support you might need as well.
What's the best way of getting in touch with you here? Is that your email address or through the site? Yeah, the email address is best. Is that the Business Lincolnshire one? So I've got a Biz Lincolnshire email address, but that just forwards to the Lincolnshire County Council one. So it's Hayley.Doreen. Oh, you can use that one. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it will. Okay. And everything goes to the same one. It's the one I picked out. Sorry, it's just the one. Yeah, no, that's fine. It all goes through to the same one. So yeah. Brilliant. Okay, I'll pop that in the chat as well if I've got a minute before the end of the show as well, just so I can do that.
Lovely.
Brilliant. I mean, is there anything else to add? I think I've put a couple of them links in the chat. I'll put the biz links on, and I'll put your contact details, and then hopefully people can pick that up. And if they want to get to find out more, they can get in touch with you and your team. That's brilliant. Well, hey, thanks for that. Don't run off. I'm gonna let you out of the studio, but I'd like to join us at the end if you and Deborah just if there's any questions or anything else we just want to just sort of discuss around the program that Deb's going to sort of talk more about for your business boost for your sector. So thanks for that. I'm going to just unceremonially sort of disappear you out the studio, but I'll bring you back in near the end.
Lovely. Okay. Thanks.
Thanks. Okay. Brilliant. Thanks, Anne. That was fabulous. Just lots of stuff on that Visit Lincolnshire site. I know because I've been involved in some of that some time ago. So I'd like to introduce our next guest, Nicola Radford. So Nicola is the Senior Commissioning Officer for Lincolnshire County Council and the Coastal Communities Alliance. Nick's an experienced Senior Economic Development Officer and has worked with the local governments in sustainable development. Nick says she loves circular economies and leading on agriculture in the county council. So if I get to the right screen, I'll invite Nick onto the stage. Here we go. Afternoon, Nick. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. It's nice to it's nice to see you here. So tell me, Nick, a bit more, and I want specifically a bit more about this project you're doing in Cleethorpes to do with sort of immersive
in Mablethorpe.
In Mablethorpe.
Yeah, we're doing it in Mablethorpe. Yeah, we might do it in Cleethorpes one day, but at the moment we're doing it in Mablethorpe. So
got you. So what's it all about? What's it do?
Yeah, so basically we previously had some funding through the Coastal Communities Fund, which was to look at skills and aspirations of our coastal communities in the hospitality and retail sector. So how can we inspire future generations to go into the hospitality sector? How can we attract the community to be visitors in their own towns, really? And how do we attract people who are in those towns and visiting to find out more about where they are? So instead of just going into Mablethorpe, having an ice cream and walking around, where are the real hidden histories about it? Why is Mablethorpe there? Why was it developed? And what sort of its history? And also at the time was working with the university on some digital technology hubs around 3D printing, 3D scanning, around how businesses can use those and access those sort of technologies to promote their businesses. And one of the pieces of equipment that we worked with the university on was 3D scanning, and how could we use those 3D scanners outside. So we worked with the university on creating, or in the process of creating, an app for Mablethorpe. So we've scanned the high street virtually all around the histories, and the university is now working on making it into an app so you can find out about the history of Mablethorpe. So there's you can go into the app and see the history of the railway station. You can see the hidden forest in there. You can see where Mablethorpe used to be if you go out and look out at the coast. And we wanted it to be interactive, so sort of for all age groups. So if you're a member of the community and you want to go out for a walk with your family, how do you get up and down the high street? How do you move around and interact with it? But also for visitors, how do you go along and explore and go somewhere different? So you can go along, you put your phone up and it'll take you into that environment. It'll come up and tell you the history about why you're at the bookie in hand or what the bell is out on the coast. And then it'll tell you some history and it'll ask you some questions. And then you'll be able to download those locations. And when you're back in your accommodation or you're back home, you'll then be able to download some more information and expand your knowledge and interact with it that way. So we worked with the university.
Got you. And this is all available on your phone, on your
It's all available on your phone. You'll be able to download it before you get to Mablethorpe, so you can have a look. But you won't actually be able to access those locations until you go. So you can't sit at home and cheat. You actually have to go out and explore, really, and find out all about it. So we worked with the university on doing that, and I'll bring Wayne in shortly to tell you the history about it. But we've had the students involved in it, so it's been very across the university with their drama students involved. We've had students working on the app. Had a brilliant presentation that some of them did. They had it as a real life project to see how they're designing an app. So the difference in what their thoughts were around what people would be interested in and those kinds of things. Let's say there's a quiz at the end. And we just hope that it's a real sort of opportunity to see something different behind Mablethorpe. So everybody sees it as sort of buckets and spades and everything else, which is fabulous. The history of why it's there and its sort of place in history and the floods and everything else is something that we really think that people will enjoy. I'll hand you over to Wayne because he's got the video, and he'll show you the video first, which is the footage of it, and then he'll tell you all about sort of how it works and how you'll be able to access it. But we're hoping to pilot it with the schools in the next few months, so that they can have a look at it, and then we'll be launching it for the summer so that it's there ready for the tourism season. And as I say, there'll be a promotional campaign. It'll be on the Visit Lincolnshire website as well, with the app and the link, so people can download it from there. But no, it's
sounds really interesting.
Enjoy it.
So, so if I bring Wayne in to the stage. Hi, Wayne.
Hello, everyone.
I don't know if you want, just tell me a bit, introduce yourself, Wayne. Tell us a bit about
you. I'm Wayne Christian. I'm a senior lecturer at the University of Lincoln, and I suppose my role in this particular project is about looking after the user experience, coming up with the ideas, and thinking about how we're going to promote Mablethorpe in an interactive way. And as Nick said, we did a lot of sort of 3D scanning, and we looked at different ways to be able to bring the community in and tourists to give them something to do. Maybe if the weather isn't great, or just to find something else about Mablethorpe, then they would necessarily get like Nicholas said, without the bucket and spade. So yeah, I was tasked to come up with this kind of concept. We worked with the history team, Nicola Grayson, who was brilliant, who started to look at all the history and see how we could then curate some of that content and use that as a kind of stepping stone to create an immersive experience. So we've got the history and we've got all the facts behind stuff. We've obviously had some kind of interpretation and artistic license behind some of those, but really about creating the history is there, but it's about making it engaging for the family to walk around and see some of these hotspots. We'd like to show a little bit.
Say again.
I say, would you like me to put the video on?
Yeah, do you want me to put that video onto the stage? I could do that if you want. Hopefully that should. There we go. I'll just play that through.
I think here, we've just.
What's happening here, Wayne? Yeah, go
on. Well, I thought I could play it in the background, but we're just sort of showing some of the models that we've created. We've got the Victorian train station era. We've got the forest.
Question 5. What is the best way to travel to Mablethorpe?
The Lincolnshire coast, a realm of marvels and mystery.
I remember it like it was yesterday. My father, John Bell, and I
step back in time to medieval Mablethorpe, where the...
Hello and good evening. You're joining us at 10 p.m. on the 30th. In the year of our Lord, 1537, when good King and
So we've got a bit of a walkthrough here, and I thought I'd let it run through, and then I'll talk through it on my sort of background. Makes a little bit more sense. We thought this might be the best way to sort of present that while we're still working on it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we've got sections.
Yeah.
We have a series of sections, and we basically walk around Mablethorpe to collect and find hotspots, like geolocation.
Attention, dear passengers, brace yourself for an extraordinary journey that will whisk you away to the enchanting coastal paradise of Mablethorpe. Introducing the marvel of modern transportation, the railway. Yes, you heard it right. Your favourite destination is now within easy reach. Bid farewell to those dusty roads and bumpy carriages from neighbouring towns and say a big cheery hello to our new rail service constructed in 1877. Embark on a delightful train adventure embracing comfort and convenience like never before. The introduction of the railway has worked wonders for the charming town of Mablethorpe. Once a hidden gem with only one inn, it has now blossomed into a thriving coastal playground with new hotels and amusements which lead the way from the railway towards a golden sand beach, bathing machines, donkey rides and more. This service will be operational until 1970, and the site of the railway station is set to become a brand new leisure centre, fun for all the family. Come and bask in the sun, take the sea air and take a stroll along the promenade in your home away from home in Mablethorpe.
I remember it like it was yesterday. My father, John Bell, and I had this amazing plan to outsmart the local coast guards. We lured them here to the book in hand. Our plan, to get them intoxicated. Thing is, the officers knew our plan. When we pretended to have a few too many, they also pretended. And later on, when we were loading up the last of the few caskets onto the cart, we turn around and there's Gallagher with his cutlet and pistol, screaming for reinforcements from his lieutenant. Of course, we knew he was on his own, but in a moment of fear, my comrade pushed the cart into Gallagher and he went on the floor, but he got up really quickly and started shooting brisk rounds of fire. We decided we needed to flee. We left behind tobacco, spirits, cigars, and eau de cologne. My father later got caught. He was told to pay £100 or go to prison for 6 months. A hefty price to pay for trying to make a living in a difficult situation, but that's the price you pay when you're a smuggler.
So yeah, we have a series of videos that we showed there. As Nick said, the students have been getting involved in some of those sort of dramatic filming that we've kind of green screen, and we get to show those in real time using augmented reality. And then the sort of part of that, you have to be on location to collect those. Once you've collected those stories, there's a quiz at the end that asks you questions about those stories. And then once you've done that, you've collected them. And the idea being is that when you go home, you can then revisit those stories and see those in more augmented reality through a kind of postcard vista in your own home. So, there's been a lot of thought about how we can get people to move around, thinking about the safety of where we want people to move in that space, on the beach. I suppose I'm allowed to stand here. Originally, we wanted to get people in, through the high street, and nearly killed myself doing some AR with the traffic, the amount of people in there. So, there's a lot of safety considerations and thinking about how people move around and where do we want them to move around on that beach, and try to sort of generate a bit more, I suppose, a bit more health, a bit more walking, and a bit more sort of tourist traction through particular directions that we're controlling through those hotspots. And not just that, the experience, there's kind of a whole back end system where Nick and the team can update some of those hotspots if they're not quite working, where we can generate content. And again, I've only showed the examples of the videos and the kind of the interactive AR experience, but there's obviously clicks and links onto that which link back to some of the history that the team have put through. So the video kind of makes contextual sense, but it is based on historical facts. We've just I think at the beginning of the video, I'm just going to sort of put it on here. The first part here really was just to sort of show some of the 3D buildings that are being created, so that we've got the kind of the sunken church, we've got the book in hand, the pub, and seeing how, and obviously you can then move that on your phone, the prehistoric forest, where we've had actors who sort of sit in that scene, and then we've got the Victorian train station. We've also got the floods and other stuff in there as well. And you can see some of that sort of some of that process around how we're bringing in some of that digital content. So it's kind of a bit, I'm not saying it's low tech, it's augmented reality, but what we found is using sort of 3D models is good. It takes up a lot of resources, but bringing actually video content and getting people to talk, it creates a little bit more empathy. So we're hoping there'll be a much more engaging experience for, I think, tourists and families to get involved. And I think especially if they can do that quiz and find out a little bit about some of those facts, that just add another level of gamification to it. So I think that kind of summarizes it. Is there anything else you want to add, Nick?
No, I think that's, as I say, it's something that we wanted to pilot in Mablethorpe to see how it went, or how it goes. And as Wayne said, we can add to it, with other stories as they come forward. If people, come back with other histories and things like that, and it'd be useful to get it out into the schools to give it a pilot and to see how they engage with it all, which is to be the next stages.
Yeah, it sounds good. And the idea that you have to be there to do this, this is not something you can do away from it. So it actually encourages people to visit the place. And it's like having your own personal tour guide, I guess.
Yeah, in a way, yeah,
So,
definitely.
yeah.
I think once you've collected those and then, you've seen it and you've enjoyed that experience, the idea is that you can kind of take Mablethorpe home a little bit with you. So then you can revisit those experiences in your kitchen or your bedroom, and to see, maybe, I don't think anyone's going to fail the quiz, but I think, if you wanted to see different parts of that quiz, you could go back and do that again and become like a Mablethorpe historian. So, there's a bit of fun in there, and it's been great working with the students. The team gave them a brief and they've sort of gone away with it. So not only a design brief and a concept brief that was about, how are you going to use the students there to act, and how do we get that across, in some of those create some of those key points. So it's been a really good, I suppose, multidisciplinary collaboration. as part of this overall project. And I'm really looking forward to releasing it out in the wild and then seeing what the responses are.
Excellent. No, it's good. So I suppose the question I've got then, so time frame, you're thinking it's going to go out to the schools to do some testing, and then hopefully get this out in the summer. Is that where we are?
Yes.
And how we're going to find out about that? What should I keep an eye on? So now this app's launched and it's going live. Where we're going to find that? Can anyone let me know?
Yeah, that's Nick's comms strategy. So we have discussed about comms strategy. How do we share that? Like, we can have the best app in the world. If people don't know about it, they won't come. It's like, how do we promote that on the beach and before the beach? Because it is an app, you still have to download it. Internet isn't always the best on the beach as well, and I don't want to take everyone's 4G or 5G. Take some of their connections. So we're looking at ways at how we promote that, the general sort of streams. But I'm sure Nick can expand on that a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll be discussing with Hayley through the Visit Lincolnshire website side of things. We've also been working with the district councils as well, because obviously they've got a tourism angle with them as well. So they've had a presentation to them as well. We'll be promoting it in the schools, and as I say, we're developing a comm strategy at the moment so that we make sure that people know about it before they get there, rather than trying to download it in the car parks. But yes, that's something that we're working on now. We've got pretty much everything in place with the model and the app. Then we can start on the promotional side of things. But yeah, look out on the Visit Lincolnshire website and on Twitter or X or whatever it is at the moment. And the county council will obviously be promoting it as well, so that we do get it out there, because we want it as far and wide, and we want as many people to engage with it as possible.
No, that's great. So yeah, I mean, I've got the Visit Lincolnshire site. I've put that on the link. It's on there, so people keep an eye on that. I mean, I think as you said, Wayne, I like that idea of there's 3D models, there's actual video, there's all sorts of different technologies giving different experiences, and a quiz at the end sounds quite good to me. That sounds quite a nice way of finishing off that whole sort of that whole use of different digital technologies.
Yeah, everyone has
very
to pay
interactive, and as I say, across generations, it will concentrate on generations as well, because the families will like the history of it, but the young people can engage with the technology as well, so everybody can get involved with what it's doing. And as I say, the quizzes just keep people engaged with it, rather than just walking along somewhere and saying, well, I've seen that. They've actually got to remember something and take a bit of Mablethorpe home with them.
And I guess we've talked about this already, I think, Nick, that this may be a pilot for all the towns, resorts, villages, cities to follow in the Lincolnshire area.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, this is just a pilot, obviously funding dependent. This was funded through other partners, but it's something that if it is well regarded and people do engage with it, then it is something. I know the districts are interested in it already in various towns. So yeah, we just want to actually get it out and about now. I think we're at that stage where all the background things have been done, and it'd be brilliant to start piloting it with the schools and with residents around the place, so that we can make sure there's no glitches in it, and then start the promotional campaign.
Yeah, I think then there's the evaluation side of it afterwards, isn't it? We're looking to see, how was it taken? How did people respond to it? How many people did the quiz? So we obviously got all of the traffic and the analytics that we need, just to make sure we can do little tweaks. But again, just to measure success, really.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, thanks for joining us, Nicola. Thanks for joining us, Wayne, this afternoon for that. I mean, it's nice to look at some of the things that are coming in the future for the area, and specifically around that sort of visitor economy and more ways of attracting people into the county. So thanks for joining us. I think I can let you both go, and hopefully I'll catch up with you both soon anyway. So thanks, Nicola. Thanks, Wayne. It's been brilliant.
Thank you.
So I just want to move on to our third guest, which is Deborah Goodall. So Deborah is a professional marketeer and a director of Air 8 Marketing, while also being a co-director of CDI Alliance. CDI Alliance designs, delivers and develops business support programs across the Midlands and North of England. They support others through their business journey and meet the needs through the provision of flexible and self-led programs. This CDI Alliance delivers this Your Business Boost program, which I'm going to add Deborah to the stage, and hopefully Deborah's going to tell us more about it. And Deborah's muted at the moment. There we go. That's it's always a good sign when someone mutes. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
How are you? I'm good. I'm good. A busy hour. I'm sure. I know you've been sort of listening to this as we're going along. Some good stuff. But just wanted to really talk to you about the your business boost, business support program that you're doing in the Greater Lincolnshire Rutland area.
Yeah, fantastic. So your business boost is primarily designed to help those working in retail, hospitality, and leisure. And the premise of it is that it helps the owners or leaders of those businesses achieve their business ambitions.
So I've got a slide that says that, though. Can I just pop that up?
Making your business ambitions a reality. Perfect. So it's not necessarily about growth. We've had people on the program who are looking to consolidate. We've had people on the program who are interested in exit strategies. We have obviously had people on the program who are looking to grow their business, but some of them are doing that through diversification. Some of them want to concentrate on their existing target audience and just get more of them. So people come onto the program with lots and lots of different ambitions, and we work with them to help them make that a reality, really, and actually get them thinking about specifically what their ambition is. A lot of people are like, oh, I've got a business, I want it to be whatever your big goal is towards the end, but actually what are the interim steps for getting there? What are the interim ambitions? How are you going to get there? So
I'm going to do that.
Okay, like I said, support program, retail, leisure, and hospitality across Greater Lincolnshire and Rutland. Although it does exclude Boston, South Holland, and East Lindsey, just because it's funded through the UK Shared Prosperity Fund, and it's delivered through Business Lincolnshire. So sort of. Those areas have other programs running that will support them. Your Business Boost started in October last year and runs through to March 2025, and we're running 6 cohorts, each with approximately 15 delegates. We're currently recruiting for cohort 3, which kicks off on the 18th of April. Hoping you've got a next slide, please.
I've got the Excel, but it's not with dates. So the next one I've got is
not with dates. Brilliant. We'll
come back to that one.
Yeah, we'll come back to that one. So the program is cohort based and runs across 8 weeks, and that sounds like a massive commitment for any business, but in reality, it's about 3 hours a week commitment, and because our programs are effectively self-led learning, you're only obligated to attend the first session and the final session, both of which are 3 hours, and then the bits in the middle, which are either one-to-one support with a specialist sort of your choice, and that really can be pretty much anything. With in the last cohort, we had someone who wanted specific help with the new fire regulations for self-catering cottages. Couldn't get the words out then. Self-catering cottages, and sort of an interpretation of what the HSE guidelines were. So we went out and found someone who could provide that support. We've also got obviously people who can assist with say like marketing or HR. We've been working with someone recently who can help with confidence and business confidence. So that one-to-one session really can be pretty much anything that you're after that can help you achieve your business ambition. There's also masterclasses, which are 90 minutes. They're held twice a week for 6 weeks. I think that's probably about right.
Yeah, 4 weeks, I think.
No, 3 weeks. 4 weeks. 4 weeks. 4 weeks. Yeah, that's 4 weeks. 8 masterclasses. So that's 90 minutes each, but they're optional. So, if you think all about marketing, then you don't need to attend the marketing one. And then if you decide later on down the program that you wish you'd attended the marketing one, they're all recorded, so you can access them later on as well. So next cohort starts on the 18th, and we are taking businesses still on for that cohort. Do you want to go?
I'm trying to catch you up. No, I'm trying to catch you up.
I'm going very out of sequence here.
Yeah,
Anyway, Thursday the 18th of April, 9:30 until 12:30. Cohort 4, Wednesday the 5th of June. Cohort 5 is in September. So the aim with all of these is that if there is a sort of significant school holiday, it will be done and wrapped up by the kickoff of the significant school holiday. So the one that runs in April won't ram into the half term at the end of May. There'll either be a week's break, or I'm trying to do quickly. No, there'll be a week's break, and there'll be the final session will be after the final half term of the summer. The June one will wrap up before the summer holidays, and then obviously we come back in September. So we recognise that actually for a lot of retail, leisure and hospitality businesses, you know, they are going to be busier themselves during holiday periods. So it's pointless trying to deliver business support. We totally get that. So we do break them up. So whilst it's an 8-week programme, it might be across 9 weeks, 10 weeks, depending on how it falls.
Okay. Tell me a bit about Tell Me More sessions.
Tell Me More sessions. So we do hold little sort of, well, tasters, I guess, where people can come along and find out a little bit more about your business boost and how the programme's structured and what the eligibility criteria is. And we might play them a little video of someone who's been on the programme, or we might in fact, so we have previously brought along folk that have been on the programme to chat with potential participants, just so that folk can get a better understanding of actually what you might get out of the programme. And so these Tell Me More sessions, informal 15-minute sessions, we hold them on a Tuesday lunchtime at 1:30 and a Thursday morning at 9 o'clock. She says, trying to pray that she's remembered that the right way around. And they're held on Zoom, and they are listed. You can register for them on Eventbrite, and they're just free to attend. They're like 15 minutes. Ask us your questions. Find out if it's for you. If it's not, that's fine. You've not signed up to a program unnecessarily. And if it is for you, then we can go through the onboarding process with you sort of there and then, or make another appointment that's a bit more convenient.
Okay. I think my next slide, I think I've got the links. I don't know. I've just put them in the chat on the LinkedIn page. But let me try and get this back on the right page here. And I'll find out. Sorry, I was on the LinkedIn page. But there we go. So the Tell Me More